Okay, so here's something to think about. Nike, one of the most iconic brands in the world, has seen its stock drop over 25% this year, while the Nasdaq is up more than 16%. That's a massive gap for a company of their stature.
That really is surprising. Welcome to DeActa Daily Digest. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Juniper. Here are today's top stories.
Let's start with Nike. It's fascinating to see a company that's been a leader in athletic apparel for decades struggling so much in the market. What's driving this underperformance?
Well, the numbers are pretty stark. Over the past 3 months, Nike's stock has fallen 25.7%, while the Nasdaq gained 19%. And year to date, they're down 25.2%. For context, their stock is trading about 42% below its 52-week high of $80.17. It's a sharp decline for a company with a market cap of $94.9 billion.
What's interesting is that Nike's fundamentals haven't really changed. They still have a globally recognized brand, high-profile athlete endorsements, and a strong reputation for innovation. So, what's going wrong?
It seems like a mix of market conditions and competition. The article mentioned that Nike has been trading below its 200-day moving average since October, which is often a bearish signal. They've recently moved above their 50-day moving average, but that's not enough to inspire confidence. And then there's the competition. Deckers Outdoor Corporation, for example, has been thriving, with their stock up 9.8% this year.
That's a great point. Deckers isn't as well known as Nike, but their performance shows that even smaller players can outpace the giants if they adapt to market conditions better. And yet, analysts still rate Nike as a moderate buy, with a price target implying a 31% upside. So, there's hope for a turnaround.
There is, but it's going to take some work. Nike did see a brief 4% bump in May due to improving macroeconomic sentiment. Lower treasury yields and falling oil prices helped, but that wasn't enough to offset their broader struggles. It's a reminder that even the strongest brands need to stay agile.
Absolutely. Let's pivot to something completely different. Article 2, about the criticism of Israel's government over their handling of security in the north. This one is intense. What stood out to you?
The criticism from former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett and former IDF Chief of Staff Gadi Eisenkot is really striking. Bennett accused the government of reverting to a policy of containment, while Eisenkot said this isn't a ceasefire but a one-sided war. Those are strong words, especially given the scale of the attacks.
Yeah, the numbers are staggering. Hezbollah has been firing on Israel every 22 minutes on average over the weekend. That's not just a security issue. It's a full-blown crisis. And yet, the government's response seems to be falling short in the eyes of these critics.
It's clear that there's a lot of frustration. Bennett's call for Beirut's Dahia district to tremble until security returns to the north reflects a push for a more aggressive military stance. And Eisenkot's demand for full operational freedom for the IDF underscores the same sentiment. It's a stark contrast to the government's apparent focus on political disputes.
And then there's the local impact. The deputy mayor of Kiryat Shmona, Ze'evik Zweigi, threatening to leave Likud if security doesn't improve. It shows how this is affecting people on the ground. When a missile strikes a shopping center in your city and you feel like the government isn't doing enough, that frustration is bound to boil over.
It's not just the physical damage, it's the psychological toll. Living under constant rocket alerts, running to shelters, it's exhausting and terrifying. The video of beachgoers in Nahariya scrambling for safety paints a vivid picture of what life is like for residents in northern Israel right now.
It's a grim situation, no doubt, and it ties directly into the third article about Israeli forces taking Beaufort Castle and advancing past the Litani River. This is the deepest penetration into southern Lebanon in over 26 years. What's your take on that?
It's a significant move, both strategically and symbolically. Beaufort Castle isn't just a medieval fortress, it's a highly strategic location that offers wide observation over southern Lebanon. By capturing it, the IDF gains a substantial tactical edge, especially as they push further into Hezbollah-controlled territory.
And the timing is interesting. Observers are saying that stalled U.S.-Iran negotiations have created a window for Israel to intensify its operations in Lebanon. It's almost as if they're trying to deal a decisive blow to Hezbollah before any potential restrictions come into play.
That's a good point. The article also mentions the possibility of encircling Nabatea, which is both an economic hub and a symbol of resistance for many Lebanese. If Israel gains control of the surrounding high ground, it could significantly weaken Hezbollah's position in the region.
But it's not without cost. The Lebanese Health Ministry reports over 3,371 deaths since March, and Prime Minister Nawaf Salam is accusing Israel of a scorched earth policy. It's clear that the human toll on both sides is immense.
And then there's the broader regional context. Hezbollah's actions are tied to Iran, and any resolution to this conflict will likely have to address the larger Middle East war. It's a complex web of alliances and enmities, and there are no easy answers.
No, there aren't. But one thing is clear. Whether it's in the stock market, political leadership, or military strategy, the decisions made today will have long-lasting repercussions. Any final thoughts?
Just that these stories remind us how interconnected the world is. A company's stock performance, a government's response to security threats, and a military campaign in a foreign land, they're all part of a larger narrative about power, resilience, and the human cost of conflict. It's a lot to think about.
It certainly is. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for the great discussion.
Thank you. Until next time.